He's got your back, your only loyal fan. Don't replace him. He's got goodies only you can try. And sure she sticks it. Don't you want some? Have some, don't be shy. 'Cause now I'm taking.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be going over Saturn in the houses, okay? Saturn in the houses. And in this episode we're going to be talking about Saturn in the 11th house. Yes, so having Saturn in your 11th house. And before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoyed the video, in the beginning of this video, definitely check it out. That's my music video. I'll have the link in the description box below, and I'd really appreciate that. So yes, Saturn in the 11th house. And before we even get into that, let's just talk about what Saturn is and what the 11th house is, okay? Saturn in astrology is the planet of discipline, responsibility, structure, career, hard work, labor, okay? Restrictions, boundaries. Saturn, a lot of times people have a difficult relationship with Saturn because it could feel just so restrictive and almost like you're failing, okay? It's such a challenge here, but Saturn is like a coach. It's supposed to coach you. It's supposed to give you obstacles that you're supposed to overcome so that you become better at whatever it is it wants you to be better in, wherever Saturn is placed in your chart. So yes, Saturn can feel mean, it can feel challenging, but it's meant to build you. And Saturn deals with your career, meaning your big projects and purpose in life, what you're here to do and put the work and energy on a practical level, okay? So making a business out of it, making money, making a career, your big job, your big projects. So Saturn represents your career and your public reputation, what people know you for doing. And Saturn's, again, going to discipline you like a coach, okay, to train you. So it feels very tough, definitely in the beginning, but if you're willing to go through the challenges, you accomplish a lot. And Saturn gives you not just rewards, but rewards that are strong, okay? They have strong foundation, okay? This is success that lasts forever. It has longevity, okay? That's Saturn. And then we have the 11th house. The 11th house is the house ruled by Aquarius. This house deals with our social networks, how we network outside of just, our family, but our friends, okay? Your associates, okay? Groups that you join, groups that you're a part of, whether it be school, whether it be the clubs in your school, whether it be the cliques and the people that you hang out with. This is your social life, okay? And this is how you network and connect with people. Based on an association level, okay? This is also innovation, okay? This is thinking outside the box, okay? Unique ideas, okay? Inventions, innovation. How do we advance our world with our minds? How do we come together and think for the collective, okay? This is a very humanitarian house because it deals with social groups. So we look at the patterns with social groups and how they're working and how we can level them up and better them, okay? Because it's a very mental house as ruled by Aquarius, so we're using our minds here. So lots of innovation, lots of humanitarian work, lots of social networking, lots of connecting, and this is the world at large using its minds and combining our minds and our thoughts together to come up with inventions and new ideas for the world, okay? This is also what you think about the world socially as well too. So the ideas and unique ideas you have for the world. So 11th house is very, very social, but also very, very innovative, okay? And it's all about future, and it's all about making things better and thinking for the collective and dealing with humanitarian social work and social movements. It also deals with, the internet, okay? A big way of the way we network and connect through social media, through the internet, okay? All this information that we get from the internet, again, all this is the 11th house, okay? So with that being said, the first thing I can say about Saturn in the 11th house is you're going to get lots of restrictions, okay, and obstacles when it comes to friends, okay? Making friends could be hard, especially in the beginning of your life, connecting with people. There's going to be lots of limitations put upon your friendships, so you probably just don't make a lot of friendships. It's probably hard to find a group, find people that can connect with you. You have a little amount of associations, okay? This is Saturn here, putting lots of limitations on the people that you connect with. And this could be challenging, okay, for Saturn 11th house people. You could feel like, you can't make friends, you don't have a lot of friends, you don't have a lot of people to connect to, you don't have a lot of people that you could use as resources, okay? You don't have like a crew or anything. This can deal with feeling like you're not popular, feeling like you don't have any friends. And it's not that you don't, but Saturn is definitely disciplining the way you network with people and trying to make it something more productive. So the beginning part of this phase is definitely putting lots of restrictions on your networking abilities and your ability to have networks. So you're gonna feel restriction in the social realm, restriction in your social life. But I'm telling you that this restriction and these obstacles are meant so that you can actually make friends and associates and connections with people that are actually real and productive, okay? And that actually help you, okay? Because 11th house can be very quantity, so many networks, so many friends, so many associates, so many people you meet, okay? But a lot of it lacks substance, a lot of it lacks value, a lot of it is very superficial, basically. This is an air house, okay? So you can think of air. Air is very light, it's very hollow, it's not, doesn't have a lot of air, isn't really heavy, it doesn't have a lot of substance. Well, Saturn, this planet that deals with Earth sign, deals with Earth energy, it deals with practicality. It wants to bring in that substance, okay, to your friendships, to your associations. So this is how Saturn's doing it, okay? It's gonna limit these friendships and networks that you have so that you actually have quality over quantity, okay? So that when you actually do connect and you do make friends, these very little friends that you make are actually of quality, okay? They're productive. They really do the things that you do. It's someone that you can actually work with. Remember, Saturn deals with like that earth energy. So it's like work, money, the physical reality. So these are people you can build with, have business with, but you don't get that structured yet until you first deal with the limitations. So definitely be mindful of that with Saturn in 11th house, definitely restricting and putting obstacles and limitations in your social life. Also with Saturn in the 11th house, there's a lot of restrictions and limitations when it comes to your rebellious ideas and your ability to rebel regardless, okay? 11th house is the house of thinking outside the box, okay? The 11th, the 7th, and the 3rd house are all the air houses, so they deal with the mind, they deal with mental energy. 3rd house doesn't discriminate. It's like all things that you think of and see. 7th house is how you balance these ideas and thoughts. But the 11th house is how you now think outside the box, okay? There's no more, just balancing and receiving information of whatever is around you. Now it's how do you think outside of it? How do you come up with unique ideas, okay? 11th house is going to represent your ability to be a genius because you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking in a unique way, and it can definitely be rebellious at first. Because this is, again, this is the house ruled by Aquarius. So when you have Saturn here, Saturn's restricting that ability to just rebel and think outside the box, okay? And again, it's very frustrating. You can have very unique ideas. Saturn 11th house people, you can have very unique ideas, a unique way of dressing, a unique way of thinking. And you present these ideas, you display them, and people reject them. People criticize them. People ask you so many questions to make you second guess your ideas. This is a very big thing with Saturn in the 11th house. You're going to see lots of restriction with your rebellious thoughts and ideas. It's almost similar in a sense to Saturn in the 9th house, okay, when it's all about large and expanding your mind. Well, 11th house is very much thinking differently and uniquely, okay, thinking left, in a sense. But this is restricted with Saturn here, okay? And yes, it sucks because, like I said, Saturn's 11th house people, you're going to feel like every time you want to be unique, every time you have a unique idea, it comes with so much criticism. People don't even want you to think that way. And this sucks at first, but again, this is meant for you to really stabilize your ideas. Okay, 11th house can be very chaotic. It's a very chaotic house. Okay, think about think of a party. Think of when you go to a party and you see so many people and everything's around. That's very 11th house. So when it comes to your unique ideas, it could be very chaotic. They could be very controversial. And what Saturn wants you to do is to stabilize these unique ideas. Does it really make sense? Does it really make practical sense? Okay. Does it really have ground? Or is it just you being rebellious? You know, Saturn 11th house people, you cannot be a rebel without a cause. That is the one thing Saturn is definitely trying to stop you from being. You know, a rebel just to be a rebel. Saturn wants you to rebel with a cause. It has to mean something. There has to be logic and practicality behind it, okay? Especially practicality. You know, it has to be productive. It has to have grounding. It has to make sense in our physical reality. So what I would say with Saturn 11th house people, it's okay to have a unique idea. You know, all that criticism is to make you think harder about your unique ideas. Does it make sense? Are you just being a rebel just to be a rebel? Is there grounding in these thoughts that you're coming up with, in these ideas? Or are you just being a rebel? Because the thing about being a rebel just to be a rebel is it causes a lot of chaos. It doesn't cause clarity. And the whole point of the 11th house is to advance life. This is the house of inventions. You know, think about how inventions are made. It's made by thinking outside the box. Think about something unique that hasn't been thought of before, and therefore changing our world. That's how technology advances and changes our world. But there needs to be grounding. It needs to be practical. So when you're having these unique ideas and thoughts, but they don't have any grounding on them, it causes lots of chaos. You know, it just causes controversy, and it doesn't help anything, okay? And that's the 11th house can get very much like that. It could get very chaotic. It could be a group of people coming together to have a very meaningful cause, or it could be a group of people coming together and causing fights and stirring things around, you know, chaotic. So with Saturn here, Saturn's bringing discipline. It's trying to prevent you from just being a rebel just to be a rebel. It's trying to give you substance. It's trying to make you think about your ideas. Is this practical? Does it make sense in reality for now? Could it help? How do you take, you know, tradition and this advanced knowledge and bring them together so you have a nice balance, you know? So yes, Saturn 11th house, I know, you know, being a unique person comes with a lot of obstacles, but if you have grounding in them, if you think about it really hard, if you make sure it's practical and you study your things really hard, you will see that a lot of your rebellious, unique ideas will be more acceptable later in time. And also they'll be very structured because you've had so much discipline when it comes to your unique ideas, when it comes to your thinking outside the box. You're so used to structure, so you make sure that when you present these ideas to the world, to anyone, that they make sense, they're practical, they're tangible, okay? And you can make even a business out of it, okay? It can get that practical, but yes, that is definitely Saturn in the 11th house. Also a very unique thing is with Saturn 11th house people, you can have lots of restrictions and limitations when it comes to the internet and technology, okay? This could get as literal as, you know, when you use your devices, your phone, your iPad, whatever, you know, they can slow down on you. You know, maybe you want, you know, your internet to work faster and it slows down on you because you got Saturn in the 11th house. Like, it gets that specific. So again, that is another form of discipline. You know, we use the internet for this fast information, very unique, you know, this technology that has advanced our world, the internet. But with Saturn here, you know, it slows that down. So, you know, your internet can slow down. Your relationship with your technology, a lot of times your technologies don't work as fast. Your phone can slow down. Sometimes the loading can buffer longer than usual because of your energy. Saturn in 11th house, this is your energy and your relationship with technology, innovation, and advancement, all those things. So yes, even your technology can slow down all on you, dealing, with slow technology, things loading up slowly. Also, social media is all about following. This is why the internet deals with the 11th house, okay? It all connects. This is where we make so much connections, networking. This is why so many social medias has following. How many followers do you have? It's all about connecting. But with Saturn here, it can even slow down your following. So you don't grow a big following, or it takes a long time to build your following. Okay, you don't get all these likes, all these followings, all this engagement so quickly like someone with Uranus in the 11th house who can get into the internet and gain a huge following very quickly. And you're wondering, well, why? Well, if you look at, maybe you have Saturn in your 11th house. Saturn in 11th house people, yes, your following will slow down. Just like your technology will slow down on you. The loading will slow down on you when you're trying to load something on your phone or whatever. The same thing goes with your following. And this connects back to what I said about friends and associations and getting limitations with that. With Saturn in the 11th house, yes, even your following and social media will take a long time to build. Or just takes work to build. You're not going to get those quick followers. You're not going to get that like some other people, and this is again that discipline in connecting. Are you just having followers just to have followers, or are you having a real following, a real productive following? People who are very loyal to you, and the connection is actually productive. It makes sense. There's structure in it. This is Saturn. It's disciplining your connections. So it's not even just going to be your friends and how you get out in this world, but also in your social media as well. But be mindful of that, okay? Because it might start off slow, but if you continue to build and you keep working on your social medias, whatever you do, you will slowly but surely gain a huge following, and a following that is very connected to your cause. Okay, it's productive, it makes sense, it's not a superficial following. So that's the beauty of Saturn. It all makes sense once you start mastering and disciplining the energy. So definitely be mindful of that, Saturn 11th house people. I know if your followers are just not up there like everyone else's, and you're trying to figure out why is everyone else's so high and mine isn't. Saturn's putting limitations there, and it's just to make sure that your following is actually productive, okay? Because I'm telling you, later in life, okay, especially once you reach that Saturn return, if you take the internet seriously like that, if you're trying to build a following, you're going to see that these things are going to start to reveal, and you're going to start gaining a big following. And again, this following is going to be very productive. These are people that can expand your business, okay, because they're so dedicated to what you are presenting, okay? Saturn wants to make you have quality connections, not quantity, but quality connections. So when you have a quality connection, you don't have to know so many people. You just, make the connection with the right person, and they're doing the same business as you that can help your business. So the connections here are very powerful because they're very productive. It's about quality over quantity. And you will start seeing the quantity build, especially once you start reaching your Saturn return. Okay, in your late 20s, getting to your 30s, you'll see it start building, and it'll be a strong following, okay, a loyal following, okay? That's how Saturn works. So don't be discouraged with the low following at the beginning. Also with Saturn in the 11th house, your friends, like your friendships can actually be mature people, okay, older people. You can make lots of connections and friends with people who are older. And even if they're not older, they're just more mature, because Saturn is a mature energy. Saturn likes maturity. It likes growth. It likes to give you rewards when you're in your late 20s, when you're 30. Saturn deals with maturity. It deals with time. So you can make lots of friends that are actually older than you, much more older, or just their energy. They don't have to be older. Just their energy in general is mature. Okay, that's because, again, Saturn's that mature energy, and because it's in the house of friends, it's manifesting mature friends who are older, friends who are dealing with business, So, this is older people, this is more mature people, and this is, again, productivity, okay, maturity, and stability. So also be mindful of that. You will have older friends. Also with Saturn in the 11th house, this placement is trying to get you to master your unique ideas, your inventions that you want to make. When you have Saturn in the 11th house, you really become a master of, you know, your unique ideas, your inventions that you're trying to create. You know, like I said again before, 11th house can be very chaotic with its like very out of this world unique ideas and inventions that are created. But with Saturn here, it makes sure that you master these things. So, you know, Saturn takes, in my opinion, Saturn takes out the chaos in the 11th house. Because of Saturn, that traditional energy, that grounded energy, that very practical energy, making sure, you know, all of these unique ideas are grounded. The inventions that you come up with, the unique ideas you come up with, they're mastered. You know it behind your head. Like, there is nothing anyone can say to go against what it is you're coming up with, because you've mastered it. You've made sure this makes sense. You made sure this idea works. You made sure it's practical. You make sure it's grounded. So Saturn in 11th house is a very powerful placement because it really takes out the drama and the chaos of the 11th house because of the grounding. So it's like Saturn 11th house people, you guys are so good at taking something so unique, so crazy, and making it useful for society. So society might not be there in their thoughts and their ideas or this invention, but you're able to ground it and bring it to the time, to the present time, because you're so practical, you're so grounded in your ideas and thoughts, and you really study it, make sure it makes sense, and you make sure it works, okay? And this could be as literal as making an invention, you know? Technology to me is sometimes, I look at it like Aquarius 11th house energy meeting Saturn energy, because technology is the idea, okay, of a technology is the Uranus 11th house Aquarius energy, but making it something useful, okay, taking that idea of a cell phone in your mind and then making it physical and something structured that you can hold and use for this time, okay, that structuring, okay, that making it physical, that is very Saturn, okay? Saturn is the physical energy, is the structured energy, is the present energy, okay? So to me, with Saturn 11th house people, you guys are perfect for technology and inventions because you're good at using your unique advanced ideas and bringing it to present time and reality where it's grounded and stable. And that to me is like the definition of technology. Also with Saturn in the 11th house, we're talking about career. You definitely can have a career in technology and, you know, definitely a career in that. Because like I said, it fits the theme of taking unique ideas and making them practical, making them physical, making them tangible, making them useful for the present day. So that's technology, okay? But also you can have careers in when it comes to social issues, you know, being a humanitarian, you know, having a career dealing with society at large and how we can advance society in our thoughts and bringing out unique ideas to society so that we can advance the way we live and think, okay? You know, these type of careers dealing with technology advancement, but also society and humanitarianism and social issues. These are great career fields for you to go into. So definitely be aware with that Saturn 11th house. Having a career in social media as well too, as you can see, is a huge thing now. Definitely a Saturn 11th house thing. So make a career out of these 11th house subjects because Saturn's here to, again, make these unique ideas, this technology into something practical. So definitely a career too. It's a great placement for a career in these fields. So yes, that is Saturn in the 11th house. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I actually kind of have a similar placement to this because I have Saturn in Aquarius. So very similar. So I definitely understand this energy. It could be very hard mixing this like innovative, futuristic energy with such a traditional conservative energy together. But it's the best combination because Saturn 11th house people, you have the best of both worlds. Okay, you have your unique ideas, your innovative thoughts. You're thinking outside the box. Your rebelness. You have all of that. Okay, and your advanced thinking. You have that, but you also have the grounded, the stable, the traditional, the tangible, productive energy of Saturn. Okay, so you have the best of both worlds, so you get to put them together and have something that really productively works. Because like I said, if you're too far in the future, you're not relatable for what's present, and what your ideas you have might be cool mentally, like theoretically, but realistically, which is Saturn, it might not work because it's too advanced, it's too out of this world, it's not structured. And then, a lot of Saturn energy can keep you traditional, can keep you too conservative. So having the best of both of these worlds and these energies, to me, is so Saturn 11th house. And it's a very gifted placement. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I hope you guys come back for more. And if you did enjoy it, book a reading with me. I do tarot readings as well as astrological readings. And also check out my music. I'll have all the links in the description box below. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.
I'm just being my way.